It's the LACHSA News Show.
Hi, I'm Eris Garcia.
And I'm Pilot Lee, and this is the LACHSA News Show.
United States Attorney General William Barr announced that the Justice Department found no evidence of voter fraud that would change the election outcome. Barr was attacked by right-wing media shortly after making these comments, and Fox Business host Lou Dobbs called Barr a liar or a fool, or both. Recently, Trump's campaign filed a lawsuit in the Wisconsin Supreme Court that alleges voter fraud in the past election. Trump's lawsuit is hoping to disqualify more than 221,000 Wisconsin ballots. As multiple pharmaceutical companies continue to share good news about the COVID-19 vaccine, there's a lot of different reactions from the public. Some are eager to take it, some are a little hesitant, and others are seeing it as a gold mine. Reportedly, some organized crime networks have claimed that the vaccine is the equivalent to liquid gold and have plans to steal the vaccine. Umbrella Academy star Elliot Page, formerly known as Ellen Page, announced that he is transgender. In light of this announcement, Netflix has updated all of his film credits. Finally, today is December 2nd, and this upcoming Sunday is the Georgia Senate debate with candidates Raphael Warnock and Kelly Loeffler, so I hope you all tune in as this race will decide which party holds the Senate.
What's up, guys? My name is Pilot Lee. Welcome back to the LACHSA News Show Drama Corner. Today we decided to have Eris interview a sophomore band student from Atlanta, Georgia, and get her viewpoint on what's going on with COVID and just everything in the world right now.
Hey, I'm Olivia Thomas. I'm a sophomore at Cherokee High School in Cherokee, Georgia.
How are you doing school right now amongst the pandemic? Are you online? Are you in person? Just tell me a little bit about that.
So I'm going to school, but wearing a mask. So the school gives us an option to where we can either stay at home and be a digital learner using Apex, or we can go to school. It's recommended that we wear masks, but it's not required. We do have to keep our distance, though. Also, we do get quarantined. So if we get quarantined, we go do digital learning and then come back.
For the kids that do go to school in person, how many kids are wearing masks? Are more people wearing masks, more not?
It was when school started, a lot of people were wearing masks, but now kind of less and less people are. Mm-hmm. I would say more people aren't.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Personally, how do you feel about being there in person with people wearing masks? Like, do you feel like it should be mandatory to wear a mask? Do you feel like comfortable around, or how do you feel about the current rules that are in place?
I feel comfortable just because I'm also wearing a mask. Mm-hmm. The pandemic hasn't really freaked me out that much, so I'm not super scared of it, but I know that it's real and I know this is impacting our lives.
Right.
But
are your classes any different? Because you said some students are in person, some students are doing online learning. Has that affected like your actual learning, like the curriculum you're being taught in any way?
The curriculum's pretty much the same. Mm-hmm. We aren't allowed to do as many like interactive stuff, kind of. So group projects aren't really a thing anymore. But the classes are just kind of smaller. In band, though, we are like 6 feet apart in our chairs, though. And like all the instruments have to have bell covers. So that's like one of the bigger like differences.
So are a lot of your schools like extracurriculars such as band, and I don't know if you have sports and stuff, are those still pretty much going on as usual?
So far, like, all the sports are happening. Clubs are not. Like, I'm on the speech and debate team, and we just do digital meetings. But like the football team meets, they work out stuff, basketball, marching band, all that stuff. We're still doing the same thing. It's just like, it's mostly the quarantining and sometimes wearing a mask. That's pretty much how it works.
Got it. In terms of the quarantining that you were mentioning, how does that work? Like, how does it go about when students do quarantine? How often? Like, how does that work?
The school, if you're in school, then they'll call you to the nurse's office where you'll stay there until a parent comes and picks you up, and then you're quarantined. But a lot of times they'll call home if you're not at school, like after school or before school, and just say, hey, your child has been exposed. They're now quarantined. So that's pretty much how it works. I've only gotten quarantined once. people get quarantined probably every week. Not like the same person, but like
different people. Gotcha. Okay, so now about the now kind of straying away from school and more onto like, the election obviously was not that long ago, and your state happened to be very important in the election as it was a huge swing state. And so, how can you, describe that for you living in Georgia? Like, how can you just describe that for you?
It was actually kind of really stressful. Because it, like, my opinion was with, like, if I could vote, I would have voted for Biden. But it was very half and half.
Right.
Pretty much everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of, like, the younger generations voted for Biden, where all the older people voted for Trump. That was kind of how it went. My school was pretty divided too. Also, I'm kind of surrounded by rednecks.
Yeah.
Online. And so basically, rednecks voted for Trump.
Right.
That was pretty it. So
right.
It was just really stressful, and it was kind of hot, like very hostile. And,
yeah.
And like, it's over. Why do you still have your like Trump?
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah. No, definitely. And obviously, so it seems like you were saying that, that despite being in like a typically red state, you feel that like there is a divide still between the younger and the older generations. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. I mean, I just feel like that's very prevalent, like in a lot of places. So, and we see that like that's still happening in a lot of states that are typically red, which is really interesting. So, also another thing, not only the election, but Georgia also has an upcoming like Senate runoff, which is going on soon. And because they're the last state, or your state is the last state because it was like too close to call, and so they're having a Senate runoff, and a lot of people are talking about how important this is because whoever wins this Senate runoff, it'll determine like which political party holds the Senate. And apparently the two candidates are like spending insane amounts of money on advertisement and stuff, crazier than ever. So I was gonna ask if you've seen any of that stuff.
John Ossoff, like,
yeah,
it's just, oh my god, they like, it attacks my, like, every time I try to look at YouTube, it's always there, and I'm like, they're like screaming in the commercials, and I'm not too big on politics, right. So I try because it's just like really stressful for me. Definitely. So I just kind of like stay away from that until like gets to a point where okay, I need to look into this.
Yeah,
but it's just I'm just done.
Living where you do, and you were saying, you're surrounded by a lot of rednecks, and a lot of politics have really been super stressful, especially as of recent. Do you find yourself even maybe like at school, like political differences, like is it a common thing where like it's causing issues? Do you see that like it's just like a common thing that creates hostility?
There aren't really like very loud fights. They're more kind of like quiet, like you're but we're still friends.
Right.
It's not getting in the way of most friendships. Like some of my friends voted for, if they could vote, they would have voted for Trump, and I was like, okay, well, I disagree with you, but you're still my friend.
When it was announced that Biden, he was announced president-elect, just how were the reactions of the people you were around? Just how was the reaction of the people you were around?
When I saw it, I actually was by myself at home, and I was going down the stairs, and I literally screamed with excitement. And I started texting my best friend Mason about it because he also was going to vote for Biden. And so I was like, "Did you see?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my god!" But then when we went back to school, because like when we went to school, my other friend, Lainey, she was like, yeah, I literally cried from like being so happy. So it had, I've heard it's had a lot of like positive, a lot of people were really excited. But like just the older people, they were just like, grr, like, So that was pretty much, people's reaction.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I asked all the questions. That was really great. And just again, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my segment of LACHSA News. There really isn't that much news this week. There's a social justice committee meeting on Wednesday, December 9th from 4 to 5:15. There should be like an email out about that. I hope everyone's having a good last couple of weeks here, and I hope everyone's doing well in their finals. So, yeah.
It's the LACHSA News Show.